everyone, and welcome. I am Douglas C. Welch, and this is A Gardener's Notebook. Now, as you may know, I'm a member of Troy-Bilt Incorporated's Saturday 6 program. We're 6 bloggers scattered all over the U.S., and one of the great things we get to do with Troy-Bilt is they send us fancy new equipment to try out and review. Now, I want to tell you, first of all, I'm not required to give a good review. I know sometimes you shouldn't need to say that, but I always make sure we state that up front. If I don't like something about a product, I actually return those comments back to Troy-Bilt and make sure that they can change a product like they have in the past, or perhaps create a new product to address a certain need. So our product today is the Troy-Bilt battery operated hedge trimmer. This is a model number TBHT57. One of the great things we got to do with Troy-Bilt is we went back to their factory and home office in Ohio, very near where I grew up, and got to try out all the equipment that they had. Well, this was one of the items, and I'll have another one in review coming up very soon, that I really liked. For one important reason, how many of you, using one of these devils, have done what I've done? And when I've asked this question in live presentations, almost every hand goes up. Yes, we cut the power cord. If it's one of those corded hedge trimmers, it's very easy to cut the extension cord completely in half. So, one of the great advantages of battery operated, of course, is you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about cutting that cord. I, frankly, in my test trial here today, found it amazing the fact that I didn't have to worry about where the cord was going or what to do with it. Typically, I would have it draped over my shoulder or something like that. Just so much better convenience.
In my stride, sure get the job done. Up and out, like a bird, just like this.
Now this head trimmer, one of the nice things Troy-Bilt does is they just little small items, like having a little scabbard for the blade here, which just slides off, protects the blade from environmental damage like getting dinged and stuff, and frankly protects you from the blade. One of the things I noticed right away when I got this is a 22-inch hedge trimmer, and here's my old one, my old corded hedge trimmer, and you can see it's significantly longer. This one's 16 inches. This is the one notorious for cutting its own cord, of course. Obviously, a longer blade like this makes for much quicker work. We don't have to cut so much because we're cutting more in a given swath. For me, it also allows me to get a smoother, a more level top, a more level side, simply because I'm doing it all at one time. I'm not having to make multiple passes down a hedge in order to get my straight line.
Your love is the one. Clouds in the sky. Oh no, they ain't none. Clouds on the side, and I will get you some.
Typical with most hedge trimmers, you have the safety set here, which basically means you can't turn it on unless you hold down the safety. Very useful, very protective in that regard. Easy to operate, you're not required to hold it the whole time, which again makes it very nice. In some home garden appliances, I have trouble because they require you to hold a particular button beyond the power trigger itself for a long period of time, and your hand starts to get tired. Now, another nice thing I've noticed with this trimmer that is a problem with a lot of other trimmers, including my old one, is that of vibration. You might imagine when you have a blade moving back and forth at high rates of speed, it's going to create a lot of vibration and oscillation in the unit itself. Well, for whatever reason, perhaps it's this nice kind of foam protected handle here or the design inside, this unit does not vibrate a lot. I didn't feel after I was done using it that my arms were still shaking like this, which I can sometimes feel.
Just flows. I can't help but run. Your love is the one. Now every woman gossip I wanna see.
Now you might think too, with a big lithium-ion battery like this has, that's going to add a lot of weight to the unit. But when I pulled these out of the garage today, I kind of held them one in each hand, and you know what? They're almost exactly the same weight. And by the time you added the extension cord to this one that you'd be dragging around as well, this one actually might weigh a little bit more, which seems rather odd. Of course, this one is older as well, and hopefully technology's improved over the years, and that's allowed them to cut the weight down on this. The handle is plastic, the cover is plastic, but of course all the main units are metal still.
Well, I don't wanna cry. I'ma keep working 'cause I know you're looking and I know you're
as I mentioned, this unit does have an interchangeable battery system. The great thing is this same battery, along with it, which also comes with this charger, actually works in a variety of Troy-Bilt's battery-operated equipment. In fact, I have a line trimmer, which you've probably seen a review of already here on a Gardener's Notebook, and I have a chainsaw pole trimmer, which I'll be reviewing in just a couple of days. They all use the same battery. It's totally functional. They all insert much the same way. I've been using the trimmer here for probably a good half hour to 45 minutes this morning, and I'm looking at my battery indicator. I haven't even touched the battery itself. It's not even showing any usage at all, so I've been pretty happy with the battery length. That's always a concern with battery operated equipment like screwdrivers and other things, is how long do they last. Well, it certainly looks like this is going to last quite a while. It'll take a little more usage before I get a true battery life out of it, but it's very nice to see that even after quite a bit of usage, it still has a complete charge.
Into your arms I'll fly.
So if you're in the market for a hedge trimmer, I certainly hope you'll go ahead and check this one out. I'm pretty happy with it myself. It's always good to have a good tool in your garden when you're doing a lot of work. You may have seen in the opening footage, I have an entire front yard of geometrically shaped azalea and juniper bushes. So one of my big jobs every year is to trim them all and neaten them all up and make them look a little more geometric. Over the year they get a little bit bushy, shall we say. So certainly going to improve my life here in my garden. This has been a Gardener's Notebook. You can find out more about a Gardener's Notebook, both the blog and the podcast, at douglasewelch.com/AGN. That's douglasewelch.com, AGN for a Gardener's Notebook.